I started pursuing art at 25 and it has been the best decision of my life. I drew the hands too short. Come on. I finished my undergraduate in 2022, and before I started my master's, there was this weird transition phase where I was not really doing anything. I was just being stressed all the time. Took up some French classes, but my mind really was not into it. I was just lazy. I would stress about my future, what I would do next, but not really act upon it at the same time. So what I did is, like any other lost person, I would just spend my days doom scrolling until I got like an acceptance letter from my master's university, and then I had like that sense of purpose again, and I started being happy, more cheerful again. Fast forward to 2 years later, and when I was graduating in June, I knew I would go through that transition phase again. I knew I would go through this phase again before I found a job or before I could pursue higher education, neither of which I have done by now. So in my mind, I was ready to start doing something else to take my mind off things. And I decided to do something creative, so I took up graphic design. I studied 3 or 4 books. Books on grids, on typography, on making posters, compositions, etc. I also learned Photoshop and Illustrator during this time. It was fun. I learned a lot, and I also printed out a lot of the designs that I made. But there was something missing. Not exactly missing, but it was more like I was using elements and assets to create a poster, but what I wanted to do was create something from scratch. You know, like when I read Lord of the Rings and how Tolkien created this whole world. That was something that I always wanted to do, and I felt like, okay, with Photoshop, sure, I can make something that already exists look better, but I wanted to sort of create these characters, this world from scratch. And so that's why, that's the main reason why I started drawing a couple of months ago, and I turned 25 in November, and right now I feel like that was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Now, have I ever drawn, or have I ever had an inclination towards drawing growing up? In the back of my mind, yes, but I've never actually taken art classes or participated in drawing, I don't know, competitions or whatever. We used to have really weird art classes growing up where a teacher would come in and she would teach us how to draw things. I remember drawing a basket with fruits was one of the first things they taught, but we never took art classes seriously. I did draw a few times. As classwork assignment, I studied biology. We had to draw like human heart, the different systems of the body, the circulatory system, reproductive system, and I also once had to draw like the cross section of Earth. It was never really like, oh, I want to draw and then I draw. It was more, okay, this is a class assignment, so I have to get it done, so let's draw. I've always felt like I never had that creative edge or that inclination, talent, whatever you want to call it, towards drawing. But the last 2 months, what I've begun to realize is it's not exactly about talent. It's more about how much time and effort and how I can harness that and how I can cultivate that talent myself. I have a sketchbook which I started about 2 months ago, and sometimes I go back and forth between my old drawings and my new drawings, and even in 2 months I've started to see a lot of difference in how I used to see things, how I used to draw them, and how I do them now. The one thing that has kept me motivated is like I have not really had that sense of burnout yet, because I'm just learning. There's so much to learn. There's like I've never had time to feel burnout. So one day I'm drawing portraits, and then I get bored with portraits, and then I start doing figure drawing. Maybe figure drawings start getting boring. I go back to drawing boxes, practicing perspective. But yeah, it's been fun, and I've been getting a lot of love and support from my family and my friends. Even with my friends, like our hangouts used to be just sit down, talk about things, gossip. I was like, hey guys, let's just draw. You know, let's just draw. It's very easy to get a prompt to draw. I would just sit down and make drawings with my friend, and they never said no because it's a fun thing. This was one of the drawings that my friend made, and I was a bit jealous because this guy actually drew a lot better than me, and he has like never drawn in his life. The prompt for this was a thief running in the library, or a thief in a library, something like that. And then what also made it fun was that we all knew we were bad, right? So we didn't focus on like the nitty-gritty, you know, the lights, the shades perspective. No, we just wanted to have fun. It made friendships more enjoyable. Not saying they were not enjoyable before, but it made like hangouts more fun. Perhaps I will also do a sketchbook tour if you are interested in that. Although I'm not sure there are many interesting pieces to show here, but yeah, that could be a video for the future. And now I do know the fundamentals. I mean, I'm not saying I'm proficient at them, but I do know the fundamentals, like the theory. And now what I want to do is I want to sort of take that step towards what I actually want to achieve with my drawings, which is character design, world building, fantasy, you know, making weapons, these artifacts, those things. So I will start practicing drawing with that intent in my mind. Yeah, that's it. I'm still recovering from a cold, so forgive me if I sound a bit annoying, but I just wanted to make this quick video as an update. Now that I'm finally back home again, the schedules are that the videos are going to be on time, hopefully. I want this channel to be sort of a collective art channel, so we will not get into too much technicality. It's just about having fun, expressing yourself, being creative, and enjoying art at the end of it all. Anyways, thank you for listening to this just yapping, I suppose. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Alright, here's the gesture drawing. And there's my reference. There we go. Not bad, I suppose. Instead of like dynamic, she looks a bit pregnant. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Whoever you are, you're really pretty, but I probably butchered this.